Hey everyone, Garbage here. In this video, I want to show you the stark difference between a company like Google versus a company like OpenAI. Both of these companies are competing in artificial intelligence, but the two of them could not be more different in terms of their financials. This is Google's Q4 2025 earnings report, which is the last earnings report of the year. And we can see that for the entire year of 2025, and these numbers are in millions of dollars, by the way, we can see that Google earned a total of a little over $402 billion in revenue. In that same time period, the company accrued a little over $273 billion in expenses. And after all expenses and all taxes were paid, the company is left with a little over $132 billion in net income, which is a lot of money. Now, out of this $402 billion, how much of that money do you think was spent on AI investment and development? I wasn't able to find a combined total for the entire year, but we can see that for the quarter ending in December 31st, which is the fourth quarter of the year, we can see that Google spent about $5.8 billion on alphabet level activities. And alphabet level activities is just code for AI activities. And if you look through all of the other earnings reports for that year and add up all the totals, you can see that Google spent about $16.5 billion on AI development in 2025, which is roughly 4% of that $402 billion total revenue number. OpenAI, on the other hand, looks very different. Now, because OpenAI is not a publicly traded company, they aren't required to release quarterly earnings statements like Google has to. But according to OpenAI's chief financial officer, Sarah Fryer, the company has reportedly earned $20 billion in revenue for the year of 2025. Unfortunately, we don't know exactly how much money OpenAI had to spend in order to earn that $20 billion. But I have seen reports ranging anywhere between $17 billion to $25 billion. Giving OpenAI the benefit of the doubt, that means for 2025, the company earned $3 billion in net income. And to get there, they had to burn through 85% of their total revenue in expenses, which is very different from Google's 4%. You'll notice that $17 billion is very similar to the amount of money that Google spent on AI in 2025. That means in order for AI to keep their earnings to expense ratio similar to Google's, they would have to 20x their total revenue. In other words, they would have to earn $400 billion in revenue as opposed to $20 billion in revenue. I don't know how they're going to do that. Google is a mature company with multiple different streams of income, and it took them decades to get to this $400 billion a year revenue. For Google, investing $16.5 billion into AI, which may or may not blow up into something big, is not a big deal. They can afford it, even if AI completely crashes and burns, which I think is very unlikely. Google is going to be able to keep on going. OpenAI, on the other hand, is betting the entire farm on artificial intelligence. They have one product, and there is no clear plan except for empty promises from the CEO, Sam Altman, about how they're going to go from $20 billion in revenue to $400 billion in revenue. And let's not forget that OpenAI expects to spend $600 billion on AI by 2030. And this is investor money that needs to be paid back in an environment where OpenAI is starting to get left behind by the competition. I don't know about you, but that just sounds like a bubble to me. Things are not looking good for OpenAI. I think they might be doomed.